The heat of the afternoon sun beat down on the tin roofs of Okigwe, a bustling town in southeastern Nigeria, as if daring its residents to dream beyond the dust and daily struggles. In a small room at the back of a mechanic workshop, 23-year-old Chuka Obesai wiped the sweat from his brow and stared at the rusted engine before him. The sounds of clanking metal and distant generators filled the air, but all he could hear was the echo of a question that had haunted him for weeks. Is this really all there is for me? Chuka had grown up surrounded by grit and grease. His father, once a skilled mechanic, had trained him from the age of 10, and by the time Chuka turned 18, he was known as the engine wizard in their neighborhood. But reputation didn't pay bills. His mother sold vegetables by the roadside. His younger sister, Amara, had just gained admission to the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, and the family was barely scraping together enough to fund her first semester. Chuka was supposed to be proud. He was the responsible one, the one who had sacrificed his own education after secondary school to support the family. But pride didn't silence the ache in his chest when he watched old classmates graduate on social media, donning caps and gowns, speaking fluent English in ways that intimidated and inspired him all at once. That afternoon, as he leaned over the open bonnet of a dented Corolla, something shifted. Not in the engine, but inside him. He stood up straight, wiped his hands on a rag, and whispered under his breath, "I need more than this." That night, he sat on the floor of their two-room home, a cracked phone in his hand, searching for online courses. He didn't have a laptop, barely had data. His only source of electricity was a lantern. Still, he found a free course in electrical engineering fundamentals. With trembling fingers, he enrolled. The decision seemed small at first, just a click, but it was the click that changed the course. For the next 6 months, Chuka led a double life. By day, he fixed cars and helped his father manage customers. By night, he transformed their small sitting room into a classroom. He borrowed a friend's old tablet, downloaded PDFs, and scribbled diagrams in a secondhand notebook he bought at the market. Sleep became a luxury. Frustration knocked often. But Chuka held on to one truth. He was capable of more. When his sister Amara returned home for mid-semester break, she noticed something different. "Chuka, why are you reading circuit diagrams?" she asked one evening, puzzled. "I'm learning," he replied simply. "I want to build something of my own one day." Amara stared at him, admiration in her eyes. "I know you can." Encouraged by her words, Chuka took another bold step. He applied for a local youth innovation competition in Enugu. The theme, solving community problems with technology. He proposed a solar-powered device that could convert car battery energy into emergency home lighting, an idea born from years of working with dead batteries and enduring endless nights without light. When he was selected as one of the finalists, Chuka didn't believe it. He had to read the email 3 times before it sank in. But the real challenge was presenting his prototype in English before a panel of judges, professors, investors, and engineers. He practiced every night, recording himself, asking Amara to listen and correct him. His fear of speaking, of being laughed at for his accent or lack of polish, nearly made him withdraw. But something stronger kept him going, the memory of his father's grease-stained hands. The vision of his mother carrying tomatoes under the sun. The knowledge that his decision to try, just try, had brought him this far. On the day of the presentation, Chuka wore his only good shirt, ironed and a bit too tight. His prototype was a messy mix of wires and recycled materials, but it worked. When he stood before the panel, heart pounding, he told them about his town, about the black kites, and about how one small device could light up a home, and maybe a future. He won, not first place, but second, and with it came mentorship, a small grant, and access to a workshop in Enugu for young innovators. A year later, Chuka Obesai launched his startup, Lumine Tech Naija. His first clients were mechanics, homes like his own, and schools in rural areas that used his low-cost devices for after-hour study. He employed 3 local youths, trained them, and expanded bit by bit. His story traveled from the streets of Okigwe to local newspapers and eventually to a national tech expo in Lagos, where he stood beside graduates, engineers, and CEOs, not as a spectator, but as a speaker.